Getting warmed up.
Getting warmed up. Get my notes up.
Let's do this.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, everybody, it's Preston Clark, CEO and co-founder of SimpleDocs, joined today by our brand new Vice President of Customer Success, Jennifer Holden. Jennifer, welcome. Great to see you. So happy you joined us.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited too. Nice intro.
Thank you. I want to take a couple of minutes. You and I obviously have history. We've worked together for many years. You're new to SimpleDocs.
Yeah.
I'm so excited, which is why I wanted to do this interview. The purpose is I want our customers to know you. I want other people in the organization, new team members to know who you are. And I think you have a great story. And so I'm hoping to ask you a few questions today, good intro into your background and why you decided to join a startup like SimpleDocs.
Yeah.
Without further ado, let's jump into it. I would
Okay.
love to start with your recent background in CS leadership. I know you have some great stories and some great experiences, so would love to start there.
Yeah. Great question. I'm super passionate about overall just like helping people. And so my last company, I was in fintech, head of CS, customer success and implementation, client operations, and things like that. And what we did there was we basically provided a financial wellness benefit to employees, but not just any employees, employees of some of the largest employers of the world, Walmart, Humana, PayPal, and providing big time integrations that were required. We were integrating with payroll systems, HRS systems, and it's a really, really tough space to be in because you're touching every single active employee within that organization. So you've got engineers, you've got executive sponsorships that you need to work with, project managers, product managers, things of that nature. And those implementations were massive. 6 to 12 months even, because the communication to those employees, but being able to touch those employees and provide access to their wages early on, so they could not live paycheck to paycheck was super rewarding, super tough. But I loved it because I was able to touch so many people, but also work with the people in benefits and HR and payroll, and manage those contracts and those relationships. It's deeper than just signing a contract, right? These people are helping others. So that's where I spent the last 5.5 years of my career, really building on that growing revenue, quite honestly. I mean, that's also really tough in that space, because they're the most expensive expense on the balance sheet. So super rewarding because the end result was helping hundreds of thousands of people's in the millions, to be honest. But also making sure those benefit HR leaders were rock stars in providing this benefit.
Yeah, that's great, Jen. I want to um, Jen and I worked together for a number of years, including in this organization that she mentioned, it was even.com. It was ultimately acquired, but it is a great story, but it's also a great parallel to what we're doing at SimpleDocs. At SimpleDocs, we talk a lot about simple implementations and simple integration. Simple is in our word or in our business name intentionally, very intentionally. But the reality is, and this is where the parallel comes from, and why I believe you're such a great fit to lead CS here, is that for enterprise products that touch, 100%, 90%, 80% of the business, there are a lot of implications. You need to show up in the right tools to the right workforce in the right way. There's divisions, there's global, different workforces in different parts of the world that require different aspects of the product to show up in different ways. And so these are things that may not require a ton of technological implementation, but they require a lot of mapping to understand how the product is going to be used and ultimately how the product is going to be communicated. And that
Mhm.
communication part, I think I saw you lead with Walmart in particular, in just an incredible way, because so much of the success of software comes down to communication and how
Mhm.
it's launched and how it is continuously launched, right? As we learned,
Mhm.
a launch event isn't just a one-time thing. In order to get adoption across an org, it often takes continuous and ongoing um, education and awareness. So yeah, love your background. I think it's a perfect fit for what we're doing here. Next question, and you're going to appreciate this one. Uh, you have a lot of superpowers. Part of the reason you and I work so well together is that I think we have some complementary or some skill sets that overlap, but mostly I think we have complementary skill sets in that
Mhm.
you're good at lots of things that I'm not. I don't know if I'm good at anything you're not, but you are good at lots of things I am not. So,
Too
can you
kind.
tell our customers, can you tell the audience a little bit about your professional superpowers?
Yes, as awkward as that question is, because you have to sit here and like kind of like brag on myself a little bit.
Good, let's
But
go.
I say this.
Otherwise I'll do it.
I humbly say this. I do get this question a lot, actually. Even when I'm hiring people and or when senior leaders are talking about me and they point out the superpower, but everyone has a different answer. So it's kind of it's flattering and humbling. But what I would say my superpower is, I do feel like I have a couple, but I'll say the number one is I believe the technical aspect of like how I think about things. I can go in, listen to a technical problem with whether I'm in an implementation call or I'm talking to an engineer within our organization. And it's really complex, but I know I have to digest this and package it up and then deliver it to either an employee or a customer so they can understand it. Um, so it just basically like articulating that, summarizing it, making it super digestible so a 5-year-old could understand it. But understanding that technical down to the minutia detail, but like I said, being able to package it and then sell it or pitch it or teach it, I think is a superpower of mine. Um,
I'm gonna raise my hand and say I agree with that. I think that there's an adjacent superpower that I want to point out about you as well that I think our customers will appreciate the one you just said, but I think
yeah.
they'll also hopefully appreciate this one. In a startup, um, we're not a services business. At least this one. There's plenty of startup services business. We're a software company, and in the early days, a lot of your development cycles are driven by customer feedback. And that is hard, as any founder will tell you. And it's hard for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is that it requires you to listen really closely to the right customers to figure out what it is you're going to build. Because sometimes they'll say, we need this. And if you listen to the exact words they say, it may be incongruent with your software. It may be built in a way that feels like it fits their needs, but might not align to your other customers. Um, so I think that you are a tremendous listener and a great synthesizer and sort of discoverer of where the source of the pain is. And then you are amazing at documenting that back to our product organization. And I think that is my favorite superpower of yours because at this stage, SimpleDocs, we're still a young startup. We're a year and a half into our journey. So much of our product roadmap is yet to be told and yet to be developed, and your ability to meet with our biggest customers, the Oak North Banks of the world and the Check-It-Trades and the Data Stacks, to capture that feedback and bring it to the product organization is just incredible.
Yeah, you said it much better than I did. But
So,
it's you're asking me to brag about myself, and I'm like, yeah, what
well,
do I
no, listen,
say?
I'll brag on you all day long. So, listen, you're here. You were at even before this.
Mhm.
Startups are a choice. I know you haven't always been in startups. You've been in
Correct.
tech, but not always at smaller or smallish companies. Uh, what is it? What is it that draws you to startups? I think it's not for everyone. I didn't
Correct.
start my career in startups, but got hooked. Tell us about your decision to be a software leader in startups.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think it's a privilege and like a humble privilege to be able to be part of a startup, to take your experiences and then be part of a team, a small team. So what comes to mind when you ask me that is the camaraderie. So when you start small, you immediately build trust fast, right? There's this, it's tiny, it's fast, and then you can move quick and you can develop fast, and then you can shift, you can make mistakes, and then you can fix the mistakes, and how you fix it and how you move is incredible. And it's also like a testament of your grit and ability to move and then mentor and teach and, let's right the ship. So, I mean, camaraderie first and foremost. I love that, the trust out of the gates. Um, Obviously, being able to be part of the product development is super exciting, right? We all have ideas. We all want to be innovative. We all want to be part of something. And I'm not saying being a part of corporation is bad or you can't provide product feedback, but usually it ends up on a list of, this, we'll get back to this list, but you're like, shoot, that's how my relationship with my customer, I'm gonna win. And they're like, yeah, but we,
Next
yeah,
year.
who are you again? So I love being a part of the innovation aspect, and the being empowered, right? With everything I just told you, it's like being empowered to make a decision, being empowered to be heard because you're getting the feedback from your customers, as you shared, that I love doing that. And then the other part, I love providing, being able to give others opportunities, right? I can't wait to build this team. I can't wait. Get them in, like learn together, grow together, move fast together, as I just said. But not only to be empowered, but to empower others. When I got in, really my first startup was over 10 years ago. I was the fourth employee. We built it up quite a bit. But what was so great about that was people were listening to me for the first time in my career. They like actually trusted and believed in me and gave me this opportunity and put all their eggs in my basket. And so I felt it, like I said, empowered. I'm gonna keep using that word. So as I built my team, I was like, here's the keys. Like, I trust you to go do this. Make a decision. It's okay to fail. We're small, we'll fix it. And so that was just like the coolest experience to do that. And I've been able to do that since. And I have incredible loyalty with the people that I bring on to work with me as partners. So that's the aspect that I probably really thrive on, is being able to like build and grow and run at the speed of light, speed of trust, I like to say a lot. And so that's why I love the startup world.
That's great. That's great answer. Um, it is amazing the level of influence a team member can have in a startup environment. So that's
Mhm,
and certainly that starts with leadership. You have to, not every startup has that DNA, but every startup
mhm,
should. And I think more startups have it than not, where
mhm,
you hire good people and you put them in a position to work and to make decisions and to then pass it on, build
mhm.
teams that operate in a similar fashion. Okay, so last question, Jen, and then I'll let you get back to work. Um, why SimpleDocs? So you told us why startups, but why this
Yeah.
startup?
Well, I mean, I'm going to piggyback on my last answer, right? You and I worked together for years. We had a really like quick, successful run. And I do feel like you first and foremost, right? I trust you. I believe in you. I believe in your vision, your leadership, your mentorship towards me. I'm not above learning. So just being in a room with you and Ali and Jordan, it's constantly learning, and especially a new industry for me. I mean, we didn't even call that out. I mean, I've been in the HRS payroll world, fintech for 25 plus years. Going into legal tech is new, exciting. So the product, of course, I love this. I also love solving the problems of organizations. It's like the bottlenecks. I remember reading the book The Goal in my 20s, and it was all about the bottleneck. And that's really where my operational brain really kicked earlier in my career. And when you can go in and sell something to streamline, to automate, put 2 hours back in someone's day. I love that aspect and helping my customers get there in that aspect. But putting the product aside, it's really the team. It's you, Preston. I've always enjoyed working with you. We complement each other, but we also fill our blind spots like really well. And it's just, it's like building something with fun people. We have to work, right? Well, we love it. I have to work. But I want to do it like with passion, and I want to have fun doing it. I want to laugh along the way. And again, those opportunities, you guys empowering me and putting this customer success hat on again, and I get to be a part of building this and influencing this. I mean, I can't even thank you guys enough for being like, nope, come on board when it was time. And
Well,
I pass up the
we can't
opportunity.
thank you enough. Right back at you, because it's a big deal. When I ask why join this startup, I mean, we are in the first inning, and you're placing a bet. You could get
Yeah.
lots of jobs in lots of places. So we're super grateful. If folks want to reach out to you, it's Jennifer at SimpleDocs.com. I'll end on this and just sort of an anecdote. I think that one of the really cool aspects of your background in enterprise software, in HRIS and HR, that I think is a good parallel, or maybe a good, uh, I don't know, connection point, is that legal tech and contract management software is a relatively young category, at least
Mhm.
compared to HRIS and HR software, which
Yep.
has been around longer. It's a bigger industry. The market cap of HRIS is, probably 10 times what CLM and contract management software is. And I bring up only to make the point that they have a ton of similarities. But two that stand out the most is that both legal and HR are cost centers. And I don't say
Mhm.
that, former attorney, I'm not saying that in a begrudging way or a negative way, but it makes things like ROI and
Mhm.
understanding the benefits of efficiencies and creating stakeholders and creating champions, that is in your DNA as it is in mine. So that's one. And two is, I think it's this just appreciation for the fact that uh, we can dramatically change the business in every corner, because
Mhm.
the nature of payroll, or the nature of HRIS, similar to contract management, is that it touches every inch of the business. And so you
Mhm.
may be entering through HR, or in our case, entering through legal, but it's not solely a legal tool. It's not that they're not, it's not like
Right.
a marketing automation tool that only the marketing team is using. These are tools that end up permeating the entire business. And I so appreciate your track record and history in doing that, because let's be honest, it's not easy. It's not easy for us. It's not easy to build the software. It's not easy for our customers. They're anxious about it. They're nervous. They don't want sales to be, to view their decisions negatively. All of these things that they go into the decision making process. And I think your experience navigating that is going to be invaluable to how we build software, and ultimately how we serve our customers. So, Jen, thank you
Awesome.
for being here. Thank you for joining SimpleDocs. We're
Thank you.
excited to have your leadership as our VP of Customer Success. And I look forward to you making these videos for our future hires as we scale
Yes.
and grow.
Yep. I love it. Thank you,
Okay.
Preston.
Thanks, Jen.
Bye.